Hey, Charlie Smith here. Uh, Shock Bites, that's me. So I'm here today because, and by the way, I hope you all had a blessed day. Um, I'm here today because I'm really concerned about something I saw. Of course, I saw it on the internet. So who in the fuck actually knows whether or not it's actually true or not? But I saw this little tag from Forbes that says, you must not do your own research when it comes to science. Wow. And to me, whose lineage is a rather long line, literally well over a century on both sides of my family, of teaching that is absolutely shocking. I never, ever in my life thought I would have seen something that says, gee, don't try to open up your mind to new things. Don't question what you think you know. Don't learn something new. Um, to me, that's a wow moment. We have had and we have learned from great men, great women throughout the years. And what would happen if they simply stopped thinking? What would happen if they simply stopped doing research? What would happen if they didn't question what someone else thought they already knew? And to me, that's beyond appalling. I can't imagine living in a world where I chose to be dumb, where I chose to be, well, I guess ignorance is the actual term, since ignorance is actual lack of knowledge. Dumb is knowing that things are conflicting and choosing to believe what you want to believe instead of what is proven. So, and I think I put in the description that only an inquisitive mind can grow, and that's beyond true. That should be beyond obvious. The art of teaching is not teaching people, children, whatever, to accept, you know, your narrative, your fact X. It is teaching people how to learn. That's what there's a saying I believe that says that the student should always be better than the master, or at least learn the ways of how to become the master. And all my life growing up, that's what I knew. That's what I believed, and that's what I chose for myself. And you know, I'm well past average, but I'm sure as hell not the most intelligent, not the smartest guy on the planet. Um, I try to learn new stuff every day. I mean, a day without learning is actually how you would consider things a wasted day. If you don't learn something, whether it's math, philosophy, or just that Joe Blow down the street whose kid had a broken leg, made a full recovery, and they're getting the cast off today. That's learning something, and you might learn a little bit more about person X. Sorry, I drift a lot. That's my thing. Um, my family's been in education always. Like I said, anywhere from child psychology to geological engineering to advanced college, advanced math classes and college and economics and uh, and it's so outside of my realm of acceptance to hear someone say, "Don't do research." To me, that flies in the very face of everything that I mean, out of the things that I believe in, that is one of them that I hold absolutely most near and dear to my heart. Uh, and I know a bunch of stuff about all kinds of weird shit. Uh, and it's because I use these, and I've got a decent comprehension rate because uh, I wanted to. And that's the thing. Here's one thing I believe more than anything else: you get to choose how much you learn, 100%, and you get to choose the depth at which you learn things. Now, there is a ceiling there, and there's a different ceiling for different people. Not everybody. Okay, let's start with a little basic fact. The only place that everybody can be equal is at the bottom. Okay, but everybody has different ceilings, right? And and to let anybody but yourself determine your ceiling is absolutely just wrong on so many levels. I think that you ought to pick a few specialties and absolutely get into it. You know what I mean? But I think that you ought to be able to have at least a conversation on some level about a little bit of everything. And I know that part of the reason this has gone sideways is because, thanks to Obama and they killed the Fair Reporting Act, which uh, articulated or said that if you're going to put something on there, then you must present both sides of it. You don't have to necessarily give equal time to both sides of it. I mean, rather more, you can push your agenda, but you also have to at least present the counter argument. So, and when they replace that with the Smith-Mundt Act, they have made watching television to me right now is untenable. I cannot watch blatantly agendized programs. I'm not a Fox News guy. I'm sure as hell not AB. And God, that kills me because I used to grow up. When I grew up, I watched all these stations. But I'm a 60s and 70s kid, you know? And they told you what was happening and let you develop your own opinion about it. They presented to you facts to the best of their knowledge. I don't remember. I remember some, you know, opinion opining going on, but it wasn't so full of it that it was unbearable to watch. And today it is. Today it is, you know, uh, X station's agenda hour, and that should be, in my opinion, deplorable to everybody. When you close off the bridge of conversation, that's a problem. That's one thing you cannot do. And we see it today in Congress. We see it today on new quote unquote news stations. I call them agenda stations. I actually call them indoctrination stations. But uh, I don't know. It's just really disturbing. I don't recognize the country that I grew up in. It's not the same. I put on the uniform from '84 to '88, and this is not the country that I would defend your right to be who, and I would defend your rights. That's kind of my thing. I'm a defender, and you know, my dad asked me why uh, I signed up for the military. He didn't agree. My mom didn't agree. Very few people in my family agreed with me, but I'm also the cat that moved out of the house when I was 16 because I wanted to live by consequence of my own choices. I did not want to be the person who relied on your approval or disapproval. I was okay with struggling my balls off. I played three sports: baseball, basketball, ran cross country, sang in chorus, and we all over the Middle Tennessee area, and had two jobs. I worked for White's Auto, which has since gone under. Well, not gone under, but Elbert and his wife sold shop a long time ago, and McDowell Motor Company. Now, I worked from 4 to close at White's Auto when I wasn't, you know, in practice for one sport or the other. And I worked Saturday and Sunday for McDowell doing cleanup and helping in the tune up and detail shops. So, I mean, I'm one of the guys, I didn't have time for schoolwork. I simply did not. God, I wish they'd applied more honors towards the test grades because I aced all those without really trying. Um, so I went into the military shortly after that. You know, swore the oath, uphold, defend the Constitution of the United States. Um, but I will always defend your right as long as you don't get into this position of imposing your will on others, right? Because that actually goes against the definition of freedom and liberty. That's called oppression and tyranny. So to have this magazine Forbes, that's pretty, you know, well-regarded magazine publish this cover is something I would not fight for, right? My hero growing up was Superman. Truth, justice, and the American way, and that is what I believe in, and still to this day, that view will not be dimmed. I will not let anybody dim it. But the American way has since changed, and it's gone very contrary to the Constitution. The Constitution enumerates each branch of government with certain powers. Furthermore, these are your responsibilities, these are your responsibilities solely. You may not pass these responsibilities on. So, in things like certain cases that have gone to the court, they've actually made erroneous decisions. Um, I'll slap Chevron and Eula's out there just for the hell of it. But I wouldn't know that if I didn't do research. Um, it just flies in my face. And I'd love to hear any questions. Uh, I'll go back and look at it and look at the chat, see if anybody has any questions later on. Hope you do. I'd love, I'm sometimes a little bit better at responding. I mean, right now I'm just seething at the hubris that somebody has to say, stop doing research, stop opening your mind, stop learning, stop being willing to learn the correct questions to ask. That is, oh, you know. All right, so no interaction. That's about it. Love you guys. Hit me up, DM me if you got questions. I don't mind. As I put in my post, bring your big boy pants. I don't care about your feelings. I don't. I want people to get along with the full knowledge that I'm not going to hold back. If you say what I consider to be dumb shit to me, it will get jumped on really hard. So you might want to preface what you say with your thoughts behind it instead of saying something that's just silly for no reason. Don't do that. Not good. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. Best wishes to all of you. We're out.